Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome to my Beautiful Nights channel. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to make this earring here. And I have to tell you, this is one amazing design. This part right here, I call this a mandala. I've actually done this several times over the years, and you guys probably don't even know it. But this here can be done so many different ways, okay? So, this ring I'm wearing, I already have a tutorial on it. If you want to see the tutorial, go to my playlist, go to rings, and you'll find it there. I have like almost 80 ring tutorials. Anyways, this ring and this are actually kind of made the same. This part here I'm talking about, okay? This part here is kind of made the same as this. So if I took out 2 pearls in that bicone, it's actually the same as this. So this design I've done so many different ways, and by the way, I am using the Czech Beads exclusive box to do this earring, but you do not have to have that box at all to do it. You guys probably have beads in your stash right now. This is made with common size beads, so a lot of you probably already have the stuff. Okay, so let's go over how awesome this design is. So I started this design way back before I ever did YouTube, and I started YouTube in 2011. I'm thinking it's probably been maybe 15 years ago. I started making mandalas, is what I call it, pieces like this. I do have 4 previous videos, including this one that I've done it in, and I probably even have more videos of it that I'm not thinking of right now, but I just want to show you how you can make this so many different ways, using so many different sizes and shapes of beads. It's one of the most incredible beading designs ever, okay? So, while back, I don't know the order of when I uploaded these or whatever. A while back, one of the pieces I made, you guys loved it so much, it was called the romantic ring, okay? In that design, I actually used more beads. Here I use 6 for the center, 6 again, and 6 again. This is pretty much the same. I just used less beads because I wanted this to be half. I wanted to have this hanging top, like it's a swing or whatever. Romantic ring. I'll put a picture up. Look at how many beads I used in it. Look at the center of the ring. The hole was so big in that ring that I was actually able to fill the top with a flower bead. So, and if you don't have flowers, you can use a round bead, whatever. Look at the picture. I'll put it up now. Okay, and later on, I think it was, I don't know which one came first, I did the same technique again, but the opening in the center of the pendant was so big that I realized that I can bezel a bead in there. So I bezeled, I think it was a 14mm Czech coin bead. I'll put a picture up for that. So as you can see, both of those designs are like really different looking. One's a ring, one's a pendant, but they have a similar stitch that I am doing to create those 2 designs. Now, I ended up doing the design again, but I had the idea to do half of the medallion, not the whole thing, because I thought it was really pretty, and so I got a subscription from Softflex, and I made half a medallion and an entire necklace, and it was a bohemian look. So I'll put a picture of that. Right? I've even done something kind of similar with this, with a star. I'm thinking about this now. I made a beaded star that was sort of similar to this. You might not see it, but I know it is. I'll put a picture for that. And that was a really old video. But yeah, I might have done this more over the years. I'm just not thinking of it right now, but those are some of the designs. So after I did the one that was half, I wanted to do it with earrings. And I thought, man, that would be cool earrings. Because I kind of envisioned, because of how I had it on a necklace, I had, you know, it was coming out on the sides here. I thought if I can make like a swing type like hanger for it, it would be really cute as earrings. And so this is what I've been working on. And then I had this open up here. I'm like, let's do more. And I even thought to do 2 like rows here of dangling beads, or just have the drops dangling, and then something on the top, maybe a center bead, maybe like a seed bead, a 6mm and a seed bead, something like that. But because of these, it was kind of hard to do it, to go in and come out adding the dangles in here. I probably would have had to remove this bead and just do bicones on the top, but I really liked how the sides look, so I just went with 1 layer there of dangles. Okay, so I hope you understand what I'm saying. When you change the sizes of the beads, you'll see how it comes together. It's really incredible. You guys should go and watch those videos if you want to get inspiration. Look at how I use the different sizes and stuff. But anyways, let's go and dive into this. I'm really excited about this. I've wanted to do it for so long now. Now, I'm going to go over the beads that I used. Again, I'm using this box, but you do not have to have the box. You guys can use beads from your stash. So I'm going to go over a list of the materials I'm using and alternatives. Okay, you could really play around with different shapes of beads in this. Alright, so I put my notes over here on my computer. I usually handwrite them, so I have to look like 2.5 feet away, so I hope I can see it. Okay, for the thread, you will need to cut 2 3-foot lengths of thread. This I have written down fireline because that's what I've used a lot, but I have a ton of this right now. 8 pound is the size I'm using. You can also do a 6 pound if you like. I do prefer the 8 though because it is stronger, but this is pretty much like fireline, made by the same company. Okay, again, you will need to cut 2 3-foot lengths. And this here can also be a pendant. It doesn't have to be earrings if you don't wear earrings. And you're also going to need a size 10 beading needle. Okay, this is a 1 needle technique. We're not using 2. And you're going to need, I'm going to give you the amounts for 1 earring because you can only make 1 at a time. So you will have to double all of these materials here to make the second earring. Make sense? So I am using 3mm beads, and I'm using lucerna bicones. That's what these are called. They have 4 sides on this side, 4 sides on that side. They're amazing beads. They nestle together so amazingly. Now, you don't have to have lucerna bicones. You can use regular bicones, 3mm. You can use, like, as long as it's a 3mm bead, it will work for this. Okay, so right here you can see the yellow. I'll show you the back. See the yellow right there? Those are 3. Okay, and then I did 3 on the top for more decoration. In this ring, I actually did 4mm. So if you don't have 3, you could probably go with 4. You could try it. I don't know for sure if it will lay the same. And the reason why I say this, when I did 3mm in this, this here is flat. It is completely flat. See that? Very flat. Now this ring, because I did the 4mm, it domed the ring. So if you look from the side, it's not flat. It's domed. And if you look underneath, see how it's concaved? So that's what increasing the size in the center does. It makes a domed, concaved ring. Make sense? Okay? And I do have a tutorial on this ring. You can go and watch it if you want. This is one of my favorite ring bands that I've ever done. That was really ingenious. Okay? So you could play around with 3 or 4mm, but if you do have 3, I do recommend you go with it because this will lay flat and not domed. Like, I don't know what it's going to do if it gets domed from the 4mm. I don't know if it's going to pop out in the center weird. I don't know. You could try it, okay? This is how I design all of these things with experimenting. You're also going to need teardrop beads. Now, I'm using 12 of these for one earring. You'll have to dub it for more. And these here are 4 by 6mm Czech teardrops. I'm using 6 of them. So that is 3 for the bottom, 3 for the top. And you're also going to need 5 6mm beads. And you'll see in the description, because I will have it listed down there, I have the size and I just say beads behind it because you could play around with all different shapes. So I'm using melon beads for this. But in this, I used 6mm bicones. These are Swarovski, or maybe they're Czech. And you can use oval beads, teardrop beads. The romantic ring that I did, I used oval and teardrop shapes for that ring in this same area here, okay? So you have a lot of different options. And then you're going to need 6 8mm beads. And the ones I'm using here, these are called lucerna. They're long lucerna bicones. So it's the same shape as this with the 4 sides. See that? But it's elongated. Now, you probably don't have these in your stash. They are newer. Okay, these are newer. So in place of these, you can just use 8mm bicones. Bicones are amazing in this design. Because of this webbing that or net, whatever that I do, it really hugs the curves and the shape of the bead. So bicones are amazing for this, okay? You can also use Czech fire polish beads. Okay, so, and maybe even rondelles, but they need to be 8mm long, alright? And again, I'm using 6 of these. 4 will be down here and 2 at the top. You're also going to need an 8mm bead. Now, I'm using a melon because that's what came in the box, but really, I wanted to use pearls. I didn't want to use that melon, but I was trying to stick to the box so that you guys can make the same looking earrings, okay? There's also a yellow melon in the box if you want to use that. And this yellow right here is really popular right now. In the nail world, they call it butter yellow. And it's really popular in nail polish right now, okay? You're also going to need 11 seed beads. I'm using my absolute favorite color, Miyuki Dark Bronze. Okay, and you're going to need earring findings. My favorite earring finding are lever backs because they don't fall out. They stay in. I'm not a big fan of the fishhook style. I have a ton of them in my stash though, and I actually prefer to make my own than to use the store-bought ones. Alright, so I think this is everything. Again, check the material list down there below in the description because I will have alternatives for you guys. Alright, so I hope the beginning wasn't too long, but I hope it was packed, slam-packed full of information for you guys, okay? Let's do this. It's a pretty fun and simple design. I just thought of another design that I made with a mandala technique, and that is the Romeo and Juliet pendant. So I will put a picture up for that. First, we're going to pick up a melon bead, a bicone bead, and make sure you do it exactly the way I'm showing you right now because this little design here had a little area where it was screwy, and I'll show you and talk to y'all about it so you don't have that problem, okay? So, melon, 6mm, actually, again, it does not have to be melon, it can be bicones, it could be a round, it could be an oval shaped bead. It doesn't have to be this shape, okay? Play around. But basically, I picked up a 6mm, 3, 6, and 8mm. Slide these down. We need to pass back through all of these again, but I want to leave a 6-inch tail so I could finish this off. So I'm just going to measure it right here. Okay, I'm going to go through this bead here and try to get my tail the right length. Okay, so let's see. I found the end of this to be where I had to have like exactly 6 inches to finish it off. There we go. So what I'm going to do now, my tails here, my working tails on this side, I'm going to go through this bicone. Okay, through the melon. And I'm going to come out of the 8mm bead. I'm getting my 2 ends together. I reinforce it like this because it wants to get loose on me if I don't. Okay, I'm just pulling this tight here. Okay, I have 2 thread paths going through these beads now. And what I'm going to do is tie a surgeon's knot. So over and under 1 time. And did you guys know that you could get this knot undone if you regret tying it. This is what I do. So I tie the rest of the surgeon's knot. I went over and under once, over and under twice, pull the knot down. Okay. Now with your needle or another tool, this here's a needle tool. It's very pointy. I've actually picked at this knot with this tool and got it undone, and I'm like actually able to reuse the thread. So I just did that again last night and it worked great. Okay, we're done with a ruler. Just tied my knot, pull it tight. This is what I have. Now this part here is very important. I could take this tail and pass it over here to get out of my way, so I'm just going to put the tail through that 8mm bead. Now it's very important, it's crucial to this design, that you exit out of the melon bead going up towards the 3mm bead. When you exit out of the bottom of this bead and you continue this weave, which is this here with just these 3 beads, okay, you're going to get over here. And then what you have to do once you decide, you have to add your embellishment to the top. Now when you start adding your embellishment, you're going to be coming out of the 3mm bead, and all you could do is just add these X's of the embellished seed beads, but you cannot add the teardrop and the seed beads down here. So then once you get all the way over here, you have to add those last. It is just a pain in the butt. It causes a lot of aggravation and wasted time. So it's very important that you come out the top of the melon bead beside the 3mm bead so that this works up faster and you don't have to go back and add more beads. Pain in the butt, okay? Alright, coming out the top, I have to pick up a 3mm, a 6mm, and one 8mm. So less beads now, just one less. Slide these down. This is also important. It causes, again, frustration and more time. Make sure you slide all the beads down and hold it like this and go through your melon, okay? Hold these beads in place. If you don't slide them down, there's going to be a lot of friction and fidgeting to get that extra tail out. Okay, now we have this. I'm going to take the needle and go through the 3mm. Okay, like that. Pull this tight to make sure that the beads are nestled together. Good, and then go down through the melon. Okay, we do this again. We're going to pick up the big bead, the 8mm, 6mm, and the 3mm, and slide these down. Also, if you don't have the 4x6mm teardrops, try using the very tiny dagger beads. They should work. Okay, it's this side, from the hole, this here. You just have to have this. Look how skinny this is. Okay. This size right here, from hole to hole, is what is important. So you can use daggers because of how they sit down here. So if you use daggers up here, or actually let's say you only have 6 of these, so then you could do the bottom of each earring and then do daggers up here because they're longer, will come down further. Make sense? So I always think of stuff like that. Okay, there is a way. There's always a way. If there's a will. Alright, I brought those down. I'm holding them in place, and I'm going to go through this melon bead. Just the melon, like that. Okay. And then it goes just like that. Okay, no exposed thread. No readjusting the beads because of friction. I'm going through that large bead. It just got loose on me. So I have to see how it got loose. You can see the thread. So I pull this as tight as I can. Push the beads with my fingers to make sure that it's tight. You want it tight. Okay. Again, I have to go through the melon in order to pick up new beads every time. So going through the melon, I have this, and I'm going to pick up another 3mm, my last melon, and this. So a 3, a 6, and 8mm. Slide all down. Okay. go through this 6 millimeter, hold these beads down in place, and see how they're all nestled together. Okay, through the melon, or not melon, good grief, through the 3 millimeter. I'm trying to call them by their size instead of their names because you can use all different shapes. Okay, like that. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to think ahead of time. I need to come out going this way. I'm coming out going this way. So if I were to add on this beaded top right here, I'm going to X out where I am now. After I go here, I go across through this bead, come out here, and then go this way, I would come out here. So I would be stuck, and I need to go this way. So that I keep going that way, I need to come out going down the melon, and then through this 8 millimeter. Okay, so now I add beads going this way, and then I come out here, I go this way, and then when I get here, then I can add the seed beads and teardrops. So I embellish the whole top of this at one time instead of having to go back and do the bottom. Make sense? Okay. I have to pick up 3 11s and this 3 millimeter. Also another thing, you don't have to have a 3 millimeter bead in this place. You could just do another 11 or even an 8/0 seed bead. So if you're limited on 3 millimeters, that is an option. And I do wonder if you could use like 6/0 seed beads or 8/0 seed beads in place of them. It depends on the brand, like Toho or Tall, like they're almost like cylinder shaped, so they might work. Okay, so 3 seed beads, bicone, 2 seed beads. We're going to go a diagonal, so I'm coming out here, I have to go this way, making pretty much like an X. Okay, so I don't have to slide the beads down for this part, they just automatically lay nice. I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads, and I'm going to go down through this bicone like that. So this you want to hold in place because it gets really loose, so you just put your finger over it. Okay, and then that's what I have, and then I pull it tight. I have to finish the bottom, so I'm going to pick up 3 and go through the 8 millimeter, and it's going to make an X shape on top. See that? Now I'm here, I can add my teardrop. So a seed bead, a teardrop, and I do try to use more narrow seed beads for this bottom because of how narrow my hole is. Okay, actually I don't know if I have enough seed beads, I might have to get more. And then through here, and it fills in this gap. See that? Filling that gap in. So I'm here and I do the X again. So this is going to be repeated throughout the rest. You're going to make 3 more X's. Okay, coming at the bottom though, I have to pick up 3 seed beads and a 3 millimeter and 2 seed beads. We're going at a diagonal, so I'm coming out here, I have to go this way. So I just bend this and lift that bead up, go through, and there we are on the top. I hope you saw that. I think I got it out of frame. Okay, and then 2 seed beads and go through this bicone going down. Okay, now see how I pulled it and see how all that thread got loose? So you have to pull this thread here, okay, tight, and that's why I put my finger on top of it, because it gets loose and you have to go back and fuss with it. Okay, there's another X forming. 3 seed beads, and then go down through this 8 millimeter. Pull it tight. That's what I have. See that? I actually do feel like the bicones look better than the melons, but I was working with what I had, so yeah. Okay. Seed bead, teardrop, seed bead. Go into the next 8 millimeter And make sure you pull it tight every time you add beads. That's what I have. I have to do this 2 more times. Okay. 2 seed beads. 3 seed beads. 3mm. 2 seed beads. Go at a diagonal through the 3mm. Bring these beads down. 2 seed beads through the bicone. Okay, put your finger on it. Yeah, I want to show you it going down, but it just gets loose on me. Okay, so hopefully you can see. Pull this, and then pull this. Okay, and then 3. And then through this 8mm. Okay, so see how I started this coming out of this bead? I also end it coming out of this bead. So that's why I said you have to think forward, because you have to see where you're going to be going. So you don't have to add beads later on. You add it all at one time. Okay, we're back at the gap again. I have to pick up 1 seed bead, 1 teardrop, 1 seed bead, like this, and into the next bead. That's what it looks like. Alrighty. Same beads again. 3 beads, seed beads, and 3mm, 2 seed beads. Again, Xing out of here. I have to go at a diagonal through the 3mm at the top, making an X. Pick up 2 and go down through the 3mm. Okay, pull this tight, hold this down, and then 3 seed beads. Okay, and through this 8mm. Pull it tight, and there we go. We completed the bottom there. Okay, now I'm coming out of this 8mm bead. I'm going to make a hanger here. See right here? I have 4 seed beads each side. This has popped out. That's weird because it was actually like that the whole time. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Pick up 4 seed beads. Okay. Coming out of the 8mm, I'm going to go into the 6mm. So it sits, and now I'm in the center. So pick up your 8mm bead. I really wanted a pearl for this spot. I wanted a purple pearl to go with the teardrops. There was a ton of turquoise in this box. It was called Turquoise Mood. Yeah, okay. So, came out here, picked up the 8mm, went into there. Back over here, I have to make my hanger. I'm picking up 4 seed beads. Alright, and I'm going to go down this large bead. Okay, now I actually have to go all the way around, and I kind of dreaded that, but I realized that after I did it, it made this shape better, so it was best that I did it. Okay, I'm going to go through as many beads as I can at one time, so through the big 8mm, through the seed bead. Okay, and I can't go through more right there. And then I'm going to go through this teardrop, seed bead, and teardrop. Nope. I could just go through that. Okay. So I'm just reinforcing this through this, going all the way around the outer edge. teardrop, seed bead, okay, I need to go up through 2 seed beads now. Okay. So this is what I have. What I need to do is I need to lift up the seed beads that I have to use in my hanger part, and that is the 1, 2, second seed bead. 1, 2, okay? So I just put the needle in there and I pull it up. And it pops into place. Alright, I am coming out of these 2 seed beads. I need to go through this one. See that? It's the back side. Okay. Now I have to make the hanger part, and after I came out I picked up the 8mm bead. Okay. And then I have to pick up 2 seed beads, and then a 3mm, 2 seed beads, 3mm, slide these down, it looks like this, and then pick up 2 seed beads again, and this time you're earring finding. So I sew this on, so I'm just going to go through here, make sure that it's laying in the correct direction. You don't want to put it on backwards. Okay, so like that, and then I have to repeat this, but I'm going in reverse. So now it's 2 seed beads, a 3mm, 2 seed beads, 3mm. Okay, my last 8mm. Okay. Oh, I forgot 2 seed beads. So take that back off. You know why? Because I was ahead of myself. I was thinking of something I want to tell you guys. So, I realized that, maybe I should zoom in, if I use smaller beads up here, okay, if I didn't use these big ones down here, I could have 2 things going across the top here. So this could went up 1 bead higher. Yeah, so up between the 2 seed beads, and then I could have had something else down here. And really, I kind of thought that this could have went down a little bit, like down here, and then have something up here, like maybe a seed bead, a 6mm, a seed bead. Get what I'm saying? So it would have 2 layers here. I thought that would have looked really cool, but because of this large bead, I couldn't do it, and I really wanted it up at the top, but that's just another idea. Okay, just want to tell you guys. I'll try to zoom out, but I always zoom back in. Alright, there we go. Okay, now I came out of this bead on the inside, so I'm going to go into this bead on the inside, so they mirror each other. Alright, now what I'm going to do is take my needle and I'm going to go up through all of these beads. Okay, now you may be thinking that I'm going to add this teardrop area here. I can't. I tried it. When I came out in this direction I added that, it didn't lay properly. I have to add it going down. So I'm actually going to go through all of these beads over here. Okay, so go through. Now it's loose right here right now, so you want to pull this tight. Do it first. Pull that tight. And then pull this through, because it resists too much if you have a loose thread on here. Now I have to go through my earring finding. Okay. Almost. And let's see what I went down. I went down 5 beads. So going down 2 seed beads, a 3mm, 2 seed beads. I'm gonna hold it like this. Make sure I don't catch that. Okay. And I'll just pull on this. Okay, now I'm gonna pick up my beads that hang in the middle right there, and it is 2 seed beads, 3 teardrops. I tried this part here so many different ways, maybe like 5 or 6 ways, I was really trying to get it fancy. I've had it up higher, I've had it down lower, but this was the best way. Okay, so I just picked up these beads. Okay, 2 seed beads, 3 teardrops, 2 seed beads, or daggers, depends on what you got. Okay, it's gonna lay it here. So I came out here, I'm gonna go up the opposite side, going through the 5 beads. So, like that. And then I'm going to go through earring finding, seed beads here. I'm going to go down this entire side. Okay, so yeah, all the way out of the 8mm. I have to go out through like that. Okay, I just went through the entire side there. Pull it through, careful your thread doesn't get caught up. Okay, now we're down here where we started on adding this, and this is connected to the inside but not the outside right now. Now we did do it on here. This is connected on the left and right of that one seed bead. I'm gonna go and connect this to the outside now. So I go through there. Okay. Now this tail is Xing out of the 6mm bead. And what I like to do whenever I'm bead weaving, if it's possible for me to meet up both of my tails, I will meet them up and I will tie them together into the design, because it's much faster than doing them individually. So I'm going to take my needle off of the thread, make sure both of these are tight. I could see that I have to take this thread up these 3 seed beads and exit out of that seed bead so they are together. So that means I have to put the needle onto my tail now. So in order to do that, I always get asked how to do this. I take the needle and I flatten, because the thread is round, with my needle, squish it hard between my nail and my finger there, and then I do this like peekaboo thing with the thread. Okay, and I put the needle here, right over, I cover it with my fingers, and I feed it on with my fingers, and there it is. So easy that way. Okay, now up through these 3 seed beads. There we go. Now both of them are coming out of the same bead. Okay, now what I'm going to do is put both of these together, and one is longer. I want them to be the same length because it's easier to do it this way. Okay, make sure they are the same length, and cut either one of the threads or cut both. I try to keep it as long as I can. Okay, so right there. Now bring these up together where they are together, and I didn't flatten the other one. I mean, it could be flattened from when I first started this. And put both threads through your needle. Okay, I'm going to go down about 1 inch and adjust this. Okay, want them side by side, and pull the threads down, fold them. And now we're going to tie knots. So I go through this seed bead here. Okay, I'm going to tie my favorite knot here, this half hitch knot, but I've actually altered it and made it better. Instead of going through once, I go through twice, because really, going through once, to me, after almost 30 years of making jewelry, my whole life really, I don't feel like it's a knot once, so I do it twice. So 1 time and 2 times. Bring this down. One of my threads escaped, so we're gonna grab that, and then, oh boy, this is not turning out well. Oh, there it goes. It's going. It's just one got away. Okay, bring it down. I'm gonna go like this. Alright, it did it. Now what I have to do is put my needle back onto both of these, and I'm going to pull the knot into this bead. I'll end up here, tie another knot, go into here, tie another knot, and I can either come up this way or down this way, tying a few more knots, reinforcing, hiding my tail. So yeah, actually I was going to do it with you, but I guess I don't have to. I just explained it, okay? So yeah, put the needle back on, go through here, tie knot, go through here, tie knot, and you could either go up into here, tie knots, or down here. It's up to you. Alright, when I did the first one, I actually did tie the knots on the top. But that is it. Very simple. I mean, there's so many different looks you could get just by changing the shape of your bead, the colors. So yeah, so think about doing earrings like this, but with the beads I use this. These turquoise beads are delicas. But yeah, think about the sparkly beads. It would be even prettier than these. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. And yeah, oh, remember, we are still collecting donations to get a new video camera. I'm still pretty far from getting a new camera. And if you want to donate, down here below in the corner is the square full screen button. Below that is a circle with 3 dots. Click that. It will expand and you will see super thanks. You can donate there. And it goes through YouTube, but YouTube takes 30% of it from me. So if you give me $10, YouTube is going to take $3. Now if you want to donate where you know that all of the money is going to the camera and not to YouTube, down here below the video in the description bar where I put all the material lists and alternatives for you, you will see Cash App and Venmo. You can donate there and the money goes straight, all of it goes to the camera. Alright, so this is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I would really appreciate it if you could support the camera, because I don't want to quit YouTube. But if I can't get a new camera, then I will be able to continue YouTube. So it's taken a while to get the money, but hopefully I will get it one day. And my old camera is hanging on. So yeah, this is it. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and make sure you click the bell button so that you get notified whenever I upload new videos, and follow me on my social media sites. I'm on Instagram, Pinterest, and X. Thanks for watching.